Hey everyone, welcome to my Crusader Guide. Um, Today I'm gonna try and do a complete guide for you on how I've been playing my Crusader. First off, I'm gonna start with skills and passives. Then I'll talk a little bit about gear, and then at the end of the video I'll show some gameplay here on T3 in a rift I've got open, and we'll close up with that. So let's get started. First off, this is a lightning build, or the main damage is lightning. So I've elected to go with slash with electrify. You can do kind of anything you want with the primary. I like this because it stuns, and it's a cleave, and it works for me. You can pretty much do whatever you want in this slot. Blessed Hammer with Thunderstruck. The reason I use the Thunderstruck rune, obviously, lightning build, but aside from that, Blessed Hammer can only hit once per target that it passes through with the initial 200%. But the lightning that arcs between you and the hammer can hit multiple times. So this is fantastic. It goes around and around, and it can hit enemies 2-3 times. So it's great. It really increases the damage output of the ability. Heaven's Fury with Blessed Ground. The reason I use Blessed Ground is because it adds a second dot, and it stacks up with the rune on Provoke, which I'll go over in a second. Then we've got Condemn with Vacuum. This slot is a little bit optional. I like this because it's nice for group play. It's another grouping ability, with area damage and stuff. It does quite a bit of burst, on clustered enemies. Laws of Valor with Critical. It's a no-brainer. It's got attack speed and gives you and everyone in your party 100% crit or critical hit damage, I should say, for 5 seconds every time you pop it. It's a great utility slot, and it's great for lining up for huge burst damage. And then we've got Provoke with Charged Up. I feel like this rune is widely overlooked, but it's really fantastic. Whenever you pop this, for 4 seconds, any damage you deal will proc an additional 50% weapon damage as lightning. And the reason that this is so great is we've got several abilities here that hit super fast, like the Blessed Hammer with the ticks of lightning. All of those are going to generate an additional 50% weapon damage. A lot of people don't seem to know this, but Heaven's Fury actually hits way more times per second than than you see on the screen. You see those half-second ticks, but those are just sums of your passive or from your dot damage. It actually hits many times per half second, and you'll be able to see it a little bit later in the video when we go for some gameplay. It really stacks up the damage from that Provoke. For passives, you have a lot of options here. You do have to have Heaven Strength so you can get your two-hander on. I like Divine Fortress because it gives a huge boost of armor if you have a shield with a lot of block chance on it. I think mine's 29%, so I'm getting 29% armor, boost right there, which is pretty good. My gear, I've been a little bit unlucky. I don't have that much life on hit, so I'm rocking, Renewal, where you get healed when you block, and Wrathful, which gives health when you spend Wrath. And if you get lucky and get a bunch of health globe bonuses for secondaries, this can actually do quite a bit of healing, per cast of your Blessed Hammer and stuff. Now, as far as gear, I've focused on crit damage, 52% crit, 404 crit damage. I also was lucky to get some cooldown reduction. I run a passive 27.86% cooldown reduction. That brings my Heaven's Fury and my Provoke down to 14 seconds from 20. That's pretty good. Other than that, if you can get attack speed, it's okay. It'll give you more healing, but it doesn't really scale that much for these cooldown type abilities. It's not going to make them really hit much faster. You might get a few more ticks on Heaven's Fury, but I haven't seen math on that yet. Also, damage versus elites is pretty great now with the amount of champ packs and stuff we're killing. I've got 39% extra damage versus elites. Damage like increased lightning damage, like on Thunder Gods, is really good. Because that kind of comes on top of your base damage, and it really adds up a lot. Stuff like Pox Folds is great. I'm still using a level 60 pair because it's just what I have, but that that proc on that's up quite a lot, and it just does millions of damage. You know, Firewalkers, more passive damage. You know, the belt, Thunder Gods, proccing damage when you get hit. All this stuff adds up to quite a bit of extra damage, and it all procs your charge up rune, which is amazing. So I'm going to go ahead and hop into the rift here, and I'll I'll try and demonstrate some of the damage output that is possible with a Crusader without, you know, using stuff like Bombard. I know a lot of people are hating on that because people are, you know, saying, oh, I got a 60 million damage crit, but you can only do it every minute. You can actually do a lot of burst damage with this build every 20 seconds, or, you know, if you have some CDR like I do, every 14. And I think that's pretty good. So let's hop in and take a look.
The crusade marches on. Like chaff before the wind. Not enough wrath. Not yet. The crusade marches on. Patience. Not ready. My wrath is low. Death is no match for determination. Make your peace quickly. Not yet.